This is my puppy. Just kidding, she's not a puppy. She's 7 years old already. Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of my YouTube series. Now, I've gotten some feedback from my first few episodes now from some friends and family, and one of the things that they've told me is that they think that I sound very sad and very monotone, which is actually some feedback that I've gotten for most of my life. So when I meet people for the first time, they often tell me that I seem very disinterested and very monotone, but that's just kind of the way that I speak. But from all my feedback, I will try my best to fix that and be able to sound a little bit more excited, because I am inside my head very excited to share my content. I just may not express it in the best way. Hopefully through these YouTube series, you'll be able to see the improvement in the way that I guess I speak, and my tone of voice will hopefully improve, and that way I'll seem more excited when I'm sharing my content instead of having a very monotone face. But just wanted to let you know, if you thought that I seemed like I was sad and unapproachable, that is not the way that I am. I'm actually very excited to share this content with you. And so yeah, let's get started. So today I wanted to talk about the word sorry. We need to stop saying sorry. I know we're Canadian, I'm Canadian. I always feel like when I do something wrong, I've always been a people pleaser. I think that if I make a mistake, it just always felt like saying sorry was the best thing to do. And so I've done it my whole life. If you saw my past videos, you can see that I struggled a lot with having confidence. And so one of the biggest things that helped me kind of get past that and be a little bit more confident was the way that I presented myself. And through work and every day, you're going to make mistakes. And I feel like I've kind of grown up to see mistakes as something that's very negative. But as I started to get to know more people and learn a lot more new things, I later on found out that, making mistakes isn't even a bad thing. It's something that's completely natural. When I started working in the real world, I thought, okay, I'm going to be working with real clients. I'll be working with these big companies that are complete professionals, and, nobody's going to make any mistakes. Biggest lie of my life. I started working and clients made even more mistakes than I did. So just to give a little bit of background, I work in advertising. So my role is kind of a project manager. So every day I'm mediating and I'm funneling through information between client and vendors. So through the process of information being passed along, I'm sure you know that mistakes are made very easily. So sometimes when a vendor sends me an email, there might have been a miscommunication, and then I will send that email over to the client, and then there will be some sort of mistake. Funneling information through so many people will naturally have mistakes in it. So in the beginning, when I started the job as an assistant position, I said more sorries than I can even count. And it wasn't really until I would say 5-6 months into the job that I came across this video where it talked about apologizing too much and saying the word sorry. For me at work, because I'm communicating with so many different people, somebody might pass along information to me that's already incorrect, and then I would pass it off to the next person. And so, like in the past, I would apologize for passing along the wrong information, but that honestly, in the end, I would come to realize that it's not my personal fault. Not that it's the other person's fault as well, because it's completely normal for that to happen. But just going and taking a step back and thinking about all the different ways that you can respond to an email rather than just straight up saying, I'm so sorry. So here are some steps and some tips that I take to respond to an email or to respond to somebody without directly saying I'm sorry or my bad. So what I think is so important is replacing your sorry with thank you. I know that might sound so weird, but give me a second and I'll give you an example. So let's say, for example, at work, you accidentally sent the wrong file and your client emails you and says, hey Carol, I think there might have been a mistake, but you sent me the wrong file. Can you please send me the correct version? So before, my email might have looked something like this. Hi Beth, I'm so sorry for the mistake. Let me find out what happened and I will get back to you right away. And now this is how I would choose to respond to the email. Hi Beth, thank you so much for flagging the error. I will look into this right away and let you know with an updated timeline of when I can get this back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. So as you can see, there is a big contrast in the two emails. In the first one, I did acknowledge the error. Saying sorry makes you seem less confident. And so in this new version, you're still acknowledging the mistake that was made within the process. But instead of saying sorry, you said thank you, because in fact you should thank them for them flagging the mistake to you and be able to catch it before it goes into production. And then not only did you acknowledge that, but then you also updated them with what you're going to do next. You already went one step ahead and assumed what the client is going to ask you next. Because once you acknowledge the mistake, the next questions that they're going to ask you is, what's next and when am I going to get it by? And you've already answered those questions in your email already, so that the client doesn't have to ask you with another follow-up email. So this is the way that I would do it. If you have any other ways of responding to an email that you would replace the sorry with something else, please let me know. I'd love to learn any new types of techniques. So I'm still adjusting and learning to the way that I speak, both verbally and communicating through emails. I struggled a lot with my own self-confidence and I'm still not perfect now. But I feel like through practice and adjusting these ways little by little, I definitely do feel that I'm getting more confident every day. Even just filming these YouTube videos and being more comfortable with listening to my own voice. When I recorded my first episode, it took me so many tries. And not because I didn't know what to say, but I wasn't confident with the words that were coming out of my mouth. Every time I recorded, I would be so disgusted by the way that I sounded and end up deleting so many things. Maybe from like a 30-minute video, it would have turned into like a 10-minute video. Through this journey that I'm going on with YouTube, I hope that I can start to see a change through my confidence in the way that I talk. So I wanted to end off this video by saying that confidence takes practice. It really does. It was something that I worked on for a very long time, and seeing the change and the improvement that I made from who I was 10 years ago is incredible. I used to be so shy and it was so difficult for me to ever listen to my own voice, listen to my own recordings, but through time and through practice, I'm starting to get more used to the way that I sound, because if I don't love the way that I sound and the way that I look, how can anybody else look at me and appreciate me if I can't even first? I know that sounds super cliche, but I feel like now experiencing that with myself and through this journey onto YouTube, I definitely understand that now. I've just gotten to embrace my weirdness, my awkwardness. I think that it's fine now, as long as I'm able to be confident and be able to hold myself up and be accountable for the way that I am. I just love all the content that I've seen online of people teaching you how to replace your sorries with something else, and after integrating that into my everyday life, I've seen such an improvement of my level of confidence, and I hope that this can help you as well. Now, if you've watched the video until now, thank you so much for supporting me. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. I'll post videos every week. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.